We are back with another TTD here in the Bass Basement with me, Devon Banks. In today's episode, we're talking about the Berkley Jerk Shad. It's all coming up. What's going on, folks? And thanks for tuning in. Today's episode on the Powerbait Jerk Shad. Before we get into the video, make sure you hit that subscribe button. All right, folks, the Powerbait Jerk Shad. How is this going to make you an effective angler this spring and put fish in the boat? Well, this 5-inch soft plastic jerkbait has a very lifelike profile, but it's the colors that really drive these smallmouth crazy. Let's dive into the two colors that I love to use with the Berkley Jerk Shad. When it comes to colors, I go with bubblegum and white. These two colors are notorious for catching smallmouth in that ultra clear water. The reason I like these two colors because I can cast this bait a long distance away from the boat and see the bait actually working. I can see the action that I am applying within the bait. This is a bait that you will visually see the strikes. You will see fish following the bait and commit. And if you see a fish that hasn't really committed yet, what I do is I kill the bait and let it do its shimmy within the water column, and that's when I get a strike. These two colors are awesome for springtime smallmouth. Now let's go into the rigging options of how I rig the Berkley Powerbait Jerk Shad. Now there are 3 ways in which I rig the Berkley Powerbait Jerk Shad. Let's go into number 1. So the first way in which I rig the Berkley Powerbait Jerk Shad is weightless Texas rig. So I've got a barrel swivel here for added weight. I've got 12 to 14 inches here of fluorocarbon line, and I usually go between 12 and 14 pound test right here. I'm fishing ultra clear water, and this is my 4-aught Berkley Fusion 19 worm hook. Let's rig this bait up. I'm gonna go about 1/4 inch into the head of the Powerbait Jerk Shad. I'm gonna come through and let's rig this bait, texpose it, and now she's ready to go and catch me some smallmouth. I'm fishing this bait probably between 2 and 6 feet of water with a slow, nice cadence. If I see a follower, I'll kill it, but that's the first way in which I rig the Berkley Powerbait Jerk Shad for springtime smallmouth. The second way in which I rig the Berkley Powerbait Jerk Shad is when I'm fishing grass or sparse vegetation, and I'm using the Berkley Fusion 19 Swimbait hook, and this is a 4-aught with an 1/8 ounce belly weight, and this right here does the job for me. Super sticky sharp hook, but I'm able to get this bait and use it in those depths, about 5 or 12 feet of water, and I'm still incorporating that jerk pause motion to get those fish to strike, and still a visual type bait, but I'm able to fish it a little bit deeper and call those fish up to strike. So second way in how I rig the Berkley Powerbait Jerk Shad is with the 4-aught 1/8 ounce screw lock Berkley Fusion 19 Swimbait hook to fish grass and keep it weedless. All right, folks, let's go into number 3 on how I rig the Berkley Powerbait Jerk Shad. And what do I use? I use the Fusion 19 4-aught super strong, super sticky sharp flipping hook. This is a flipping hook, folks, and how I rig it just like so. I want to keep this bait as straight as possible on the shank of this Fusion 19 flipping hook, and what I want to do is I want to rig this hook out of the back of this Berkley Powerbait Jerk Shad just like so, and here it is right here, folks. Super straight, super sharp, and what this allows me to do is fish areas where I may have missed fish, where there are sparse to little grass, and I know once the fish commit to this bait, they're getting a hook and they're getting them in the boat. If this hook can pull fish out of matted grass and vegetation when I'm flipping, it's definitely going to hook those fish and get them in the boat with 100% hookup when they commit to this bait when it's rigged this way. Folks, before we get out of here, let me give you a real quick tip. If you're getting short strikes when you're using the Texas rig weightless setup, this is what I do. I get a 4-aught EWG Berkley Fusion 19 treble hook, and I put that right there on the back of that main hook, and there you have it, folks. You got a good stinger hook for those short strike fish to get them in the boat. Take that quick tip and have fun catching fish. Well, there you have it, folks. That's today's TTD here in the Bass Basement with some tips and tricks on how I rig my Berkley Powerbait Jerk Shad. Use some of these tips and tricks for you this spring so you definitely can get some bass in the boat. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And you already know what I want you to do. Hit that bell.